Alrighty, guys, we are live. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona, broadcasting to the world live. Welcome, everybody. Today, we are going to be discussing the Abby and Libby case, better known as the Delphi murders. Okay. So it looks like they will have a hearing on the 7th, which is tomorrow. And if there's going to be any kind of a delay, any kind of a plea deal, you can definitely expect it this week. Remember, guys, they have this trial scheduled for Monday the 13th. What's up, Piper? All right. Shout out to the replay crew. Julianne. Happy Monday, H. Anthony, what's good? He knows he will never let this go to trial. I don't think he can. It doesn't even seem like they even prepared to go to trial. So either they're just tainting public opinion for a future trial, or they're just exploiting the state of Indiana. And that's an even tougher case to pursue against those attorneys if that's what they did. But they're there to represent Richard Allen, and they can't do anything unless he has the final say. But that doesn't mean he's not being convinced to sign documents. For instance, Fig Sauls brought up a good point. He said, how the hell are these guys making an argument that he's unfit due to mental health issues, but yet you have him signing official documents smack dab in the middle of this time frame? So does that mean that the letters are no longer legal? Should they be thrown out? You're basically telling us that he did it while he was unfit to make his own decisions. So we haven't heard a ruling about him. I don't know, what was it, eating paper and something to do with feces. So I don't know if that's what they're addressing tomorrow. But if that is something that's on the table to be looked at, I mean, I don't see how Judge Gold can even make a decision on that. So it'll be almost like a forced delay. She's not a doctor, so. But hopefully they've already evaluated him and have determined whether or not he can stand trial. You think so, Anthony? That's what I think. I'm expecting a delay and then a plea. Oh, are you referring to that image? Let me pull that up. This is the only photo I can find where he's smiling. So we'll mess with this comparison here. In a few. Good morning, Cynthia. Carrie, good to see you. Karen Bentley. Leslie, what's up? Yeah, I think Nick's ready to go. I mean, how he's going to tell that jury, look, this guy was on the trails. all these people are going to point at Richard Allen. Richard Allen is going to have to admit, yeah, I was there. And then they're going to say, well, we found his bullet. They're going to show all of the other comparisons from the other search warrants, and then they're going to show the comparison with Richard Allen. And the jury is going to be 100% convinced at that moment, in my opinion. They're going to say, how the heck? You can't explain that. How do you explain your bullet being there? They've just scientifically proven it, and it's not hard to do, regardless of what people tell you. In some cases, it's not definitive, but I have a feeling that they have a good I don't know what you want to call it, I guess a sample or their comparison with Richard Allen's unspent bullet casing. They're going to show all the others, the Maxwell, the Weber, all these other search warrants that they served. They're going to say, look, these folks had a 40 caliber weapon. Here's our comparison. Not even close. Here's Richard Allen's comparison, an identical match. So that really only leaves a few options, right? Richard Allen is covering for somebody who, for whatever reason, had possession of his gun during the murders, and they know why that bullet's there. But the jury's not going to be able to look over the fact that he looks like the bridge guy. We haven't seen the full, we haven't seen Liberty German's full video, which I think is going to be devastating for Richard Allen. And all of the other nuance stuff that we don't even really know about. So we could expect a delay here tomorrow, or if anything, some answers. But if it does go to trial, you guys, Monday, so that means they most likely have, what, the jury selected already? Good to see you, H. Nixon. Rain Dancer, how are you? Good morning, good evening. Good to see you, Jill. Cindy, how are you? My guy Farmer, what up? Miss Dog Lover, good to see you today. KT Recovers, hello. Welcome in. Miranda writes, hello. Jill, how are you? Ziggy's in the house. Oh, really? What's up, Frank Meisters in the building? Good to see you, Candace. Miss Thang. Robin B. How are you, Kristen? Miss Bond. Mustang. True Crime Time. Good to see you. Good morning. Beach Fairy, welcome in. Good morning, Dawn. Hey, Kimmy. Haven't seen you in a minute. Daisy, always good to see you. So tomorrow is about the topics that should be excluded, Odinism, but I could have misheard it. Yeah, I'm not sure. They might have a plethora of items to discuss. You know, it's time to get all that pre-trial stuff out of the way. But yeah, I told you guys a long time ago, all of this stuff that the defense is calling exculpatory will soon be admissible. Because we can't have two prosecutors. We can't have dueling prosecutions going on in that courtroom. Well, our client is Richard Allen. Well, our client is Brad Holder and Patrick Westfall. So we have two clients. You only have one. We win. No, it's that the prosecution has the burden to prove that Richard Allen had something to do with these murders, if not the sole reason it happened, right? And it's the defense's job to answer those accusations, not to create their own case over here on the side and act like Nick McClelland's not even in the courtroom. Just doesn't work that way. But remember, both sides have been working tirelessly. I'm thinking private investigators, moles, trolls, social media misfits. So, I mean, there's always room for discovery. even smack dab in the middle of that trial, if if it's something new. So you never know. What's up, Jody Lynn? Hey, TJ. YouTube would actually send me a notification when you guys are live. That bell is broken. Yeah, I think so. And all you members, if you did not get a notification for Wednesday's members meeting, I would unclick the bell and then re-click it. Because I just put that live stream out there for you guys. So we'll be meeting at 2 p.m. this Wednesday, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So be there or be square. Is there any credible info out there related to Richard Allen's early life prior to marriage? Yes, I've made some contacts with his childhood friends. I'm in contact with somebody. He actually rode to school with this person since they were in elementary school all the way through high school. He knew his father. His father was a principal, I think, at either the elementary school or the middle school. I'm not sure. But he was well known. And he told me that he does believe Richard Allen is the guy that did it. He believes they have the right guy. And that he was the quietest person that he had ever known. He's never met anybody as quiet as Richard Allen. So that tells me fantasy, right? If he's a guilty man. And that'll be up to the jury and the judge and that whole process. I have my opinions. You guys know, Eileen, that he's the guy. I mean, I can't get over the fact, and I haven't seen the comparison of the unspent bullet, but I mean, I'm sure that that's the one piece that Doug Carter was talking about, because they've served dozens of search warrants. They've made dozens of comparisons. And when they were done, they were like, well, okay, there's no connection here. These guys are excluded. We're good. We're moving on. But the difference with Richard Allen, and I'm not even quite sure that they thought he was involved. They may have just found this lost tip narrative and said, well, we got something, guys. Let's go. Let's do what we've been doing. Let's try to get our search warrant. And let's see if we find that one piece. And it could have been a lot more than that, a little more. And we'll find that out too. Welcome in, Miss Bond. I don't know. It should be Monday, right? Monday the 13th. Hey, Cold Truth is in the building. Good to see you. Welcome in. Thank you, guys. Don't judge the website too harshly. It's technically not live. It's under construction, but you can register. The merch shop is open. It's not fully developed yet, but I want to thank everybody who's been buying that merch. It was we were able to get two items out. So those were the two first sales from the website, and we shipped those off this morning. So shout out to you guys. Don't know who they are, so it's nobody that I'm familiar with. Might be somebody new. But thank you. What is up, Chris? Welcome in. Good, Rain. Good. Good to hear. Mustang Shadowbox. How are you? So tomorrow they have a hearing. And if everything goes as planned, you can expect trial to begin on the 13th. I myself am, just from looking at all of the information, I'm expecting a delay. I think Goal's going to want a competency hearing if they haven't already had one. But if they did, I think we would have seen it here in my case. So I'm expecting that competency, and then I don't know how long that takes. Like what, 3 weeks maybe? 3 week delay, and then once they say yeah, he's good to go, they'll schedule the trial, and then he'll plead. He'll give the reason for why he did what he did, an official confession, and a videotaped atmosphere. Capacity. What's up, Levi? Good to see you. Hey, Bobby. Bobby. Digi. My mic sounds muffled. Chris says, will any cameras be allowed? I haven't been able to follow closely lately. No, they're saying no right now. But I'm telling you right now, she's going to let those cameras in. Not to everybody that's asking. She already knows who she's going to allow. It'll probably be 3 major outlets. I'm thinking 2 local, and then something like a News Nation type outlet. Or maybe even some type of Fox network, something like that, something mainstream. But she's not going to allow it right now because she's still dealing with all this shit. So depending on what happens here, then we'll learn if she's going to allow cameras, in my opinion. And then if there is a delay, same goes for when all of that is sorted. It'll be denied. And then as soon as the jury trial is a certain thing, is 100% moving forward. 3 days prior to that, maybe even the Friday before, you'll see the requests being accepted. Judge Goal is all 4 cameras in the courtroom. I think she was part of the initiative to bring that to Indiana. She wants those cameras in there. She knows the benefit of it. But she also knows she's a fool me once kind of girl. That's all it takes for her. You fool me once, that's it. Shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Not gonna fool me again. Was that George Bush? Fool me once, fool me twice, not gonna fool me again. But I think that's how she operates. Because remember, at the very beginning of this, she was ready to work with both sides equally. The defense said, "Hey, we want this on television. Our guy is innocent. We believe other people are involved." She said, "All right, boom." Allowed. Instantly. She gave him that. Because that's what she wants. But they turn around and they just wanted to use cameras and all of this to just try to manipulate the system, and it was all part of some weird strategy. What's up, Courtney R? Melissa Balboa. Welcome in. You're welcome, KT. Thanks for hanging out. Miracle Hearts, what's up? Sorry, that's a little far out. Here's some of the names. Jennifer Auger, James Luttrell, Stacy Diener. It's a transport order. So let's see. Transport order for what day? 5/3? So he's been in what, Carroll Allen County, waiting to go to this hearing since the 3rd. Is that right? Miranda Wright said a friend of his told me his adopted dad was a perv as a principal. That's new information to me. I've spoken with 3 different people that knew Richard Allen. I never heard anything like that. So that's interesting. I wonder if there's any factual information to back up those claims. Are you able to dig a little bit deeper on that? Because right now the defense is trying to paint Richard Allen as just this normal guy, right? This normal guy who's being railroaded simply for the fact that he was trying to be helpful. Like, hey guys, I was there that day. This is what I saw. And then 6 years later, they're like, you're our guy. Well, that's the thanks I get for coming forward and trying to help law enforcement. I become the scapegoat. But obviously, that's not what's going on. We're starting to get the full picture here. Quietest guy in the town, right? Hiding in plain sight. His entire life has been like a one Jedi mind trick. I am not the killer. I am a little tiny man. I am not capable of anything. You are a tiny man. You are not a killer. Right? That's what it is. So people want to give, and we still don't know the truth about what happened with Doolin and the lost tip and all of that. So people need to understand when you have somebody like a Richard Allen. So people want to beat up Doolin, and I say, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I got the gloves on. I'm ready to start swinging, but not yet, because you have to consider the human factor and the possibility that Richard Allen is an evil manipulator. So he had something to do with that lost tip. The reason that he came forward is to, what do killers do often? Inject themselves. Why? So that they can be proactive, steer the narrative. Maybe he messed up the name on purpose. Using something, another piece of the information that was provided, knowing he can say, well, that's your fault. I gave you my name. You made the mistake. Or even him maybe showing up with his daughter, his wife. Like, we don't know how he was interviewed originally, but he could have played a huge part in kind of manipulating that whole situation with Doolin, putting his mind at ease, kind of steering it, appearing feeble. I mean, all of you out there, there's 50% of you out here that have been paying attention to the Delphi case that say there's no way Richard Allen did this. This little guy. Coming from a guy who has had plenty of physical altercations with large, medium, and small men, you'll be surprised. Sometimes the big guys are weak and slow, and sometimes these little guys are extremely, surprisingly strong. You cannot judge a person just by looking at them. It just doesn't work that way. The only way you're going to know for sure is by tussling. That's the only real way. So, in my opinion, it's ignorant to say things like that. The stature of Richard Allen. Especially when you're considering the victims, 2 young girls. So we need to deal with facts. And the facts is he was there that day. They can argue his alibi all they want. I'm not concerned with that. That's for the courtroom to decide. But what I know is he was there. There's witnesses that apparently saw him. And what the fuck is your bullet doing at this crime scene in between these 2 girls? That's enough for me. Guilty. You're going down for this. If you want to tell me the whole story and if there's other folks that are involved, that might better your situation. But right now, we got enough. How do you explain that? And I don't understand how people are arguing for Richard Allen, knowing that his bullet was at that crime scene. They're going to prove it's his bullet. So all these people that say this is a pseudoscience and it's shoddy and all of that, that's bullshit. The only reason Richard Allen is in custody is because of that bullet. That's the one piece. What's up, Miracle Hearts? Can't believe the judge only stated 3 weeks for this case. I think she said 2 weeks. What's up, Yankee? Good to see you. TRPP's True Talk. Welcome in. Can someone get a hold of Goal and have her hold it till like 10 a.m.? Miranda says a lot of childhood friends are starting to talk. I hope so, because nobody's coming to his defense. I don't know I think somebody said it in the Discord or I read it somewhere that he may have confessed to his friends. And maybe they didn't even believe him. False confessions happen all the time. But I don't know. Some people think that shit's cool for whatever reason. I guess it kind of plays into that whole hybristophilia. What's up, Tech? I thought the principal was his grandfather all this time. Am I wrong? Yes, it's his stepfather. Remember some of those 4chan messages about that Richard person that they were calling the killer? Said that he was from a prominent family. I don't know if that's what they meant. I guess depending on your perspective, maybe it was a prominent family. If continued, they'll have to start over with jury summonses, correct? That's how we do it in Missouri. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're figuring out. I don't know if they've selected the jury. Are they waiting till the 7th? I'm not sure. I think it takes, 6 days? I was told his real dad is a rough character. I know he's a musician. Pretty well known, too, from what I understand. So I don't know that relationship, that dynamic. KT, I really enjoy your style of interviewing guests. Thanks, man. Patrick Westfall and the person who was on the bridge taking photos for Google, very well done. Oh, JP. Yeah, JP's an interesting guy. Wait till you guys see all the interviews I did for Chelsea Grimm out there on that investigation. And I'll be putting and editing out those videos soon. A lot of interesting folks I ran into out there. Hey, Courtney R., how are you? Rain Dancer, I have a question since I am not familiar with the U.S. trial procedure. Does not camera mean also no audio transmission? Yeah. So what it means is they'll cut all that off, and all the reporters and journalists that are there inside the courtroom can only take notes. And then during a break, they'll go and report everything to Twitter and to their outlets. Thank you, Candace. Appreciate your support. Hey, Melissa. Welcome in. The younger years. Uh, I have some photos of him when he was younger. Might help. Just bear with me a moment. Going through my archive here. It was a young Richard Allen, Delphi suspect. Hey, Sherry. Let me see. I think I have a few more. This one's from ninth grade. So he's got a smile on his face in both those photos. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. We won't get fooled again. George W. Townsend. Not gonna get fooled again. You tried it. Gold denied it. She is definitely in control of her courtroom. Yeah, you guys should have seen. I went to this AI. It's like a image generator, and I typed in woman judge bodybuilder. And I was going to use that as a thumbnail, but it came out a little strange. Then I was going to put Judge Gold's head on it. Sherry Wilson says she's so angry. I don't see any anger. I mean, just saying, why does she seem hormonal? She's had Baldwin and Rosie by the collar the entire time, by the ears. They're the two bad kids in the class, caught smoking around the back by the trash cans, by the dumpsters. Youngsters, out you go. Hey, caricature. Good to see you. If there ends up being CSAM in this case, it's probably a bad idea to allow it to live stream. Well, they're not going to have cameras on their evidence cameras, so it'll be fine. Similar to, and they just might show everything with it blurred out or whatever. Yeah, I'm sure at certain times they'll just focus in on the people who are on the stand, on the witness stand. But I don't think there is going to be any CSAM. If there is, I'm not sure if they uncovered that angle yet. That could be a part of the pieces that we don't hear about. Remember, Nick's ready to go, and if there's anything circulating out there that's harmful to Richard Allen, the defense team is going to be in no hurry to tell the public about that. Right? That goes into the shut the heck up file. Never mention this file. Yeah, she should be. Her job is to protect the integrity of the proceedings. I think she's done well. Like with that whole incident with Goals Chambers and Baldwin and Rosie kind of stepping away from the trial. Well, they all knew that that was just a situation that was going to be for the Supreme Court. And that's why we have the Supreme Court, is for situations like that. So even though all these moves and all this stuff, because of our ignorance in the process, everything looks is like, has us on the edge of the seat. But this is just another day for these folks. Robin B. Wonder if the jury makes their decision either innocent or guilty before the allotted time of trial. Always beware of the quiet persons. That's what you hear. That little guy can't play football. He's just miniature. Daisy, Lilith posted receipts of KK move into PC. Well, he's going to go to PC anyway. He's a sex offender. What's JSD? Confirm the move. Sleuth thoughts on KK and PC because of Richard Allen. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Richard Allen. Or excuse me, KK. I mean, I'm just baffled by it all. I'm baffled by the Wabash River search. I'm baffled by the search happening right when Lilith was down there catfishing Keegan Klein. And then 4 weeks into the Wabash River search, if you read it, the full unredacted PCA, it says that Tony Leggett was handed the tip narrative the 4th week of that search. So it's as if they found what they were looking for, kind of, because from that point on, they went one more week into the search. So yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like there's some kind of strategy from Nick. Something's going on with Keegan Klein. But we already know that they basically asked Gold to prevent the defense from speaking about Keegan Klein and Ron Logan. So that makes me believe that they don't have any intention of bringing him up during these proceedings. Which also tells me that Kagan didn't have anything to do with the tip narrative. So was the search just part of this intense push? Like, we got to do something. We're gonna follow up old tips, and maybe they were following up on an old tip about the Wabash River right there. Maybe they received a tip, and it said, "Hey, such and such threw something in the water." So while they're searching the river, following up on these old tips, they're going through all of the old tips through this process. Some of those tips just happen to lead them to the Wabash River. Like, hey, man, we need something. We need to do something here. And this all kind of started happening after Paul Holes visited down there with Delphi. And that's what he does. So he might have gave him some good advice. Good to see you, Don. Charles Manson was 5'2". Yeah, and he was able to convince people, right? There's different ways to utilize your power. Like, what was his name? Shill Miller? This guy was an out of shape, ugly loser slob living in his parents' basement, catfishing people, very similar to Keegan Klein. But he was catfishing folks in Alaska. He convinced this woman not only to sexually assault her child and videotape it for him, but also to murder her good friend while recruiting two other folks to do it. Now, he convinced her that he was an old sugar daddy type guy with millions of dollars. So he convinced her to film it and also to communicate with him live while it was happening. So if you guys want to look into that further, it is the Shill Miller case out of Indiana. Very troubling. So you don't have to be anybody because you, at the same time, you can be everybody. Just depends on who you're trying to convince. Yeah, I think so. And things can change. Maybe something happened to him in his teenage years, some kind of a evil seed was planted. Never know. Only he can really clear that all up. Hey, what's up, D Ashley? Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, see, this is very strange. I mean, how do you get over the fact that he looks like the bridge guy? The witnesses are basically saying that's the guy on the bridge. He's saying I was the guy on the bridge. And then his bullet. How is your bullet there, dude? They found it on the 14th and they've had it in a laboratory since then. They would have had to pre-plan this and been so patient. They waited 6.5 years to put their plan into play. Try, explaining that to a jury. Okay. Before we get out of here, I just wanted to mess with this photo here. Grunge truck, Manny Pacquiao is really small too. Tank Abbott, or not Tank Abbott, Tank Davis, sorry. Tank Abbott too, but he's big. Hope everything went well, D. Good to see you, Grunge. Okay, I just want to mess with something real quick. Noticing some characteristics here. So in this image, it's really the best image that we have. It's the clearest piece out of the entire video. There's this small piece of his jaw, lip area, and under his nose. That's really it right here. So I want to see if there's any similarities here. So I think we should start here with this shadow. Kind of comes from the nostril down. I hit that. This right here is very interesting. I don't know, Sherry, quite a bit. I think like 50,000 at least. Last time I checked. Yeah, I don't know, Silas. I really don't know. Doesn't look like it. All right, let's see if we can match this up over here. Maybe we'll start right here with this line, squiggly line on the lip area. Got to make sure we maintain the proportions. So these two definitely match. Looks too small. The only real matches I'm seeing, kind of right here, huh? Here, let's do this. Let's move that one over here. Actually, we'll hide it completely. That way there's no cheating. Napoleon and Dynamite. Good job, D. Keep working on that. Hey, what's up, criminality in the building? Welcome in. Exactly. Quote unquote. Hey, good to see you, Boston. Cheeks, what up? Women are always called hormonal. Yeah. I just don't understand why people attack Cole. It's really strange. All right, let's give this a test here and we'll see if any of this matches up. Oop, wrong tool. Need the airbrush. That's really all I'm getting right here. Let's try that. This one's an exact match up top. I don't know if it's caused by the blurring, but look at this one matches perfectly, and then when you move this one over, it seems to match here as well. See that? Same like squiggly design and everything. Look at that. But no match on this one. Let's try this one. Similar. Now, is this one the same right here with the lip? Let's try to match that. Pretty close. You guys be the judge. Pretty close. Even seems to wrap around this little piece that kind of hangs out right there. Yeah, Amelia, they do say that, but it's them that's partial. I don't know, guys. That's pretty strange. It seems to follow the hook of his cheek here all the way down and then wrap around whatever this is protruding here. While seeming to match up here as well. If he wasn't smiling, maybe. Partial smile. Cheek says they won't show CSAM in the courtroom. They would just talk about it. Doubt they will even give them pictures to review. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if there are photos, the jury will definitely will see them, but they'll be edited like the crime scene photos. Yeah, I hate bullies, but I love punching them in the face. Well, I used to. Non-violent, non-violent. Yep, exactly, Amelia. And he might not even be talking. He could be their suspect, right? But they haven't found a connection, or it could even be somebody, maybe a common denominator. I think so too, Nixon. I think either she thinks she does or she does, and she's doing her best to kind of not talk about it while also building up that, ha, I told you so. I've just learned to expect the unexpected with this case. I agree with that, Don. I think we have good people that are being called all across the world for the sake of good, but I also believe that same call went out to the darker part of all of this. So there's two signals up in the air right now. Hey, blind squirrel. Who was that, Carrie? Yeah, we got the mods in the house, so if you guys need any help, let them know. I don't catch everything. When I see the bridge garbage in your image sleuth, I see the image of Richard Allen and close my eyes. I get an eye infection. Yeah, be careful. Isn't it? It's weird to see him smile. Show me another photo where he's smiling. I think he might be smiling in that photo with his stepson or son-in-law. Sorry. What's up, Cryptex? All right, guys, this is all the time I have. We might have a sleuth crew check in a little bit later. I have a lot of video from my investigation into the disappearance of Chelsea Grimm. I have over 29 hours of footage to go over. We had 3 cameras running. We've already found something during the analysis, putting together a folder, a dossier, I guess you can call it, that I'm going to send out to the lead detective over there who's working this case. And if it pans out, we can thank my wife for having such a great eye. But yeah, it just got real with that case. So about 6 hours into analyzing the footage, haven't even started to edit it. Really, right now, I'm just looking for anything of interest. Hey, what's up, Don Spain? Chris Owens, how are you? Nevada Tan, hello. Hey, Stephanie. Julianne. Say right now, if the prosecution expert rocks up, Stephanie. The devil's puppet. Yeah, I like Ruckus. All right, guys, this is all my time. I appreciate everybody who caught the live stream. If you have anything to follow up on what we talked about today, drop me a comment, shoot me an email at sleuthintuition@gmail.com. All my contact information is on sleuthintuition.com if you need to reach me. If you want to grab any merch, go there. Donations are always welcome. We are planning another investigation here, so stay tuned for that information. We just have a lot of work to do on analyzing the footage from our previous investigation into Chelsea Grimm. We've uncovered a lot. I'm very pleased with what we were able to do with our time there. The search was not successful, but man, I'm so glad that I had that GoPro running constantly, because we may have found something, guys. We may have found something. I'll keep you posted on that. But either way, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Peace.